I started my underwriting career back in the 80s in group medical. I then moved into life, disability, and long-term care. So I've done a full gamut. I did most of my medical background and schooling when back in the 80s when I started, and I've always wanted to be a veterinarian when I was little, and had the love of the anatomy and physiology, and so underwriting was the next best thing. Spent the most of my career in long-term care. It's very nice. I did spend quite a few years in disability as well. Again, you can be disabled several times in life insurance. You die once, so it's a little easier to underwrite risk-wise, whereas with disability and long-term care, again, someone can be disabled many times, so you have to look a little broader. The number one is incomplete applications, missing questions. And the interesting thing is if it's in the medical area of the application, most unanswered questions are yes. They may say, okay, we'll go back to that later, skip on to the next application, and say it might be cancer history, and they didn't answer that. Well, we'll complete the rest of the application, then we'll come back to it. They forget to come back to it, they submit an application. Now, with all that being said, with everything going electronic these days, that no longer is possible. However, we still have some of the old school brokers and agents that will still use pen and paper. But missing application, it delays an application and policy delivery because we then have to amend the application. They have to go out and sign the amendment before we can put it back in force and whatnot. So it really is a stalling process in the whole application process. I enjoy developing the underwriting guide with management and our reinsurers and whatnot, but it is invaluable. It's a source for, particularly if you don't have it online, if you have it in your briefcase and whatnot, and we've actually made it much smaller for them. If they're actually there with the client, they can look up the impairment, say, geez, they are going to charge you a little bit more premium for this. Do you want to reduce your benefit? It then helps them tailor the plan that they can afford. Again, they can call the underwriter and say, geez, someone just told me they had a stroke. What questions should I be asking? And we will help them walk them through the interview to say, yes, you can take the application and at what rate they should charge them. Without them, we wouldn't have a job. Without sales, you don't need underwriting. So it really needs to be a good marriage. Someone needs to make a sale and have your underwriter underwrite. It may not be the way you quoted. A broker quoted it. They may quote the best rate. We may come back with a counter offer. But if you explain to them, so they can explain to their client why they're a higher risk for that particular plan and product that they're applying for, and everybody agrees, they're able to place a good risk on the books at the right price, it's profitable for both company and the individual who bought the product.